Hey, it's Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it's Monday. It's November the 25th. We're heading into the um, Thanksgiving holiday here in the U.S., and so the markets are slow, and it's only going to get worse as we go into the week. I'll probably trade a little bit tomorrow. I'll come in and see if we get any movement. So we'll probably get one more video this week, and then I'm going to take off the rest of the week. And I encourage you to do the same because it's going to be a lot of this right here. Just not hardly worth wasting your time with. So take the time, enjoy it with your family, or spend it studying your work or whatever, because there's not going to be much trading going on, that's for sure. I only saw a couple of trades this morning. I've had enough of this. I'm going to wrap it up. It's about lunchtime here, my time, Central Standard Time. So I'm going to wrap it up and get out of here. I am trying something new. Somebody suggested I use this bar of session, and basically what it does, it's an indicator. It just numbers the bars, and I'm numbering every fifth bar, and I've made the numbers about as big as I can without them being too intrusive to the chart. So I hope you can see them, and I hope they're an advantage because I can just call out the numbers, and you may have to count over a couple of bars or something, but let me know what you think. Give me some feedback on it. Can you see them? Do they work? Do you like them, not like them, or are they just getting in the way? And let me know, and we'll go from there. But we'll try them for the first video or two until I get some feedback, and then I'll make a decision after that. But if you can see them, they should be helpful. They don't look too like they're cluttering too much. So if you can actually see them, they should be helpful, I would think. And we'll just take it from there and see what happens. So, but let's talk about the trades, and I'm going to wrap this thing up. And again, I'll be back to probably do a lesson tomorrow, and then that's going to be it for me. I'll be off the rest of the week. So probably won't be answering emails unless they're something critical with somebody having problems with a manual or something like that. So let's talk about the trades, and we'll move forward. I saw this early as a trading range, very obvious. We traded up. It looked like it might be a spiking channel, but it just never went anywhere. It's real low volume. Didn't much happen. So you got to consider this as a trading range, especially when you get this failed second entry long here and can't go any higher. And I think this, I'm just eyeballing it, but just looking at it, it looks like we got a perfect measured move down after we broke out of this level. Let's just measure it and see. Just eyeballing it, looks real close. There's your first, and you can see it's a perfect measured move down to this double bottom here, and that should have been your target on this little breakout pullback short here. So let's talk about the trades I saw, and then we'll go from there. But the first trade I saw was just right before the open. We had this double bottom. We tried to go higher. We never, even though we got a second entry long here, we never tried to go lower yet. So that's really the first entry short. And so that makes this really on a bigger picture kind of the second entry short right here. And it fails and turns down, but there's not really a good setup bar. Notice how those are just kind of inside bars. This was the breakout and kind of a pullback, and then it turns down and it goes lower here. And that's kind of right off that trend line of those closes right there, and you can see that. And and that's a big reversal bar. That's what reversal bars look like. It tried to go higher and it closes on its very low. When prices broke lower there, I would have dropped a limit order somewhere in here and waited on it to pull back. And you see it pull back all the way to the equal to the high of that bar and then turn down. So wherever you could drop a limit order, that's what I would do. And you might have even just used a stop. You would have come close to getting stopped out on that if you use a stop and put your of course, that's your signal bar. That's bar 27, 28, 29. Right there, bar 29, your signal bar. So your stop needs to go up above the price action structure, which is up here, but it's got to go above that one for sure. And what I would have done was use a limit order and try to get above this bar, and you can see you would have got filled way back in here by doing that. And then your stop can get above that bar, which is the safest place at this point. And this line kind of drops down to here now. Easy scalp. Probably didn't get a runner off that. And then you get a new low right here, first entry, pull back, second entry long. So there's a failed second entry long. And you ought to know not to be going long out of that. But you can't go short either until you get the trap. And you really could have gone short on below bar 40 here, but it's not a very good setup, and it's right here at these lows, so it's a little risky, but it breaks out and pulls back and then turns down. So it's like a breakout pullback short, and that's a very bearish bar. Look, it opens on its high, closes on its low. That's bar 42. And again, when it broke lower, I'd be considering a limit order in here somewhere before it gets back to that trend line, and probably on a breakout pullback. So you could have gotten filled all the way back to, it looks like 1805 there. And if you didn't enter there, you really get another little breakout pullback short. And you got to figure prices are coming down here to test these lows. And so you get another chance to enter right there. You might could have gotten filled on a limit order here. I'm not sure. I just drop a stop in there. And either way it worked. You're moving on down. And then this is the important one. I got some emails here for some people that got trapped right here. But let me show you something. Yeah, there's a second entry short there, but look, it's out of congestion. And you don't want to take the first entry short because it's a terrible signal bar. And this was a pretty good signal bar, bar 58. But notice it never broke below that. So here comes your second entry right here. And by that time, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 overlapping bars all stacked up here. Most of them have a green hint to them. They're leaning to the upside. You had your overshoot down here. That's a clue. Don't take that second entry. There's not even room to get out here. So skip that trade and sit tight and see what happens. And guess what happens? It works down here and it bounces right off that double bottom. And that is rejection. Look at that bar. It trades all the way down. It opens, trades all the way down, closes, and trades all the way up and closes on its very high. That's rejection, and that's a double bottom. And there was no reason to go short here. So by being patient and being that predator, you get a chance to wait on the trap, and it's an easy scalp. And then you're trading up. Now you're making higher highs and higher lows, and you got a double bottom, and you got a higher high. And that looks like rejection there. I don't think I would have taken that entry. There's too many bars stacked up there. It is a reversal bar, but it's inside this bar. So it's just an ups-down bar. It's not worth considering, in my opinion, unless you can get in way back here with a limit order, which you could have, and then you could have gotten out before you get back down here to these lows. This one, I like this trade. It's a little more aggressive. It's a two-legged pullback, so it's a second entry short. It's a little tiny bar up here near this double top, and we do have a kind of a downward tint to this day, so it's a downward bias. You go short right there, and it would have worked. I'll be honest with you, once it started stacking up these little dojis like this across here, I would have exited somewhere in here and taken the tick or two that it was giving me, even though it would have went on to work. It's not doing what I expected, which was to trap people and go on and start making another leg down, or at least come back down to here. So, and the EMA is getting very flat now. So if you took this trade and you didn't get out here on your limit order, I would have exited when it came back down and made another doji and taken my tick or two. And or three. You could have actually gotten 3 ticks out of it. And you might have got filled on a limit order, but you can't take that chance that that'll happen. I would have just exited. And there's been nothing else that's worth entering here because it's just hung up in congestion. It wouldn't surprise me if we go the rest of the day like that. We could break out of here and move lower, or break out and move higher, but it's just not worth it because it's low volume, it's holiday type day. There's not much going on. You're more apt to get trapped than do anything, and so that's the reason I'm calling it a day. I'll be back to do this tomorrow, and I may quit early tomorrow, and I may even change my mind. So if you don't see a video tomorrow, you know that I just decided to go ahead and start my holiday a day or two early. But my plan is to come in tomorrow and trade, but for that I'll do a video. We'll do a recap. Probably won't be much happening tomorrow. You never know. Sometimes you do get a good, you can't have a set rule that you won't trade unless you just want to take the day off, because you might get a big movement. Most likely it's going to be something like this all day, but you never know. So it's worth coming in if if you want to trade one more day. But past tomorrow, I would just stay away from it. And it's going to continue to be slow like this all the way through the end of the year. And it'll only get slower most likely as you get closer to Christmas, because more and more traders start to take off and take the rest of the year off. And usually I take the last couple of days of the year off myself, and enjoy it, traveling, spending time with my family and visiting family and things like that. And I suggest you do the same. But I'll keep you abreast of my schedule as we get closer to that time. But just know that I do plan to trade tomorrow, so there should be a video tomorrow, and then probably nothing else until first of next week. So hope you had a good trading day. We'll be back to do it again tomorrow. I'm going to wrap it up. This is Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.